Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to go ahead and look at Nova Shenron. Now, Nova Shenron has gotten an EZA. He is one of the 7 new EZA units we have received. Soon to be 8, because SCR Cell will be getting his EZA very shortly. Now, our boy Nova. Nova got a good increase. I don't want to say that he's like a godly level card, like, you know, the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, the Super Saiyan Goku, or even, you know, Int Metal Cooler. I don't think Nova is quite on that level, but he is very, very, very good now on the Shadow Dragon team, where, I don't know, maybe he is as good as, like, Int Metal Cooler. It's just, Nova is constricted only to the Shadow Dragon team, right? But he does stack attack on super attack. He does give himself key attack and defense, which is all good. And he is a Shadow Dragon Saga support type unit. 30% for Shadow Dragon Saga allies, which is nice. So Nova is like a must run on the Shadow Dragon team. The only real issue with him, look at that, basically 100k defense is not bad. The only real issue with him, again, is his lack of teams, right? But, you know, the Shadow Dragon team, this is good, because Nova before was, quite honestly, kind of a throwaway card, and now they did turn him into definitely a unit you want to run on this team, no doubt about it. So he is able to stack his attack. Yep, he's taking double digits there, as I figured. So right away, 1.37 million. I'll definitely take that, considering the extra damage he's giving to the rotation, as well as the key he is giving himself as well. So that's all going to work together. The Shadow Dragon Saga team is really one of the most disappointing teams in the game to me. Not because the characters are bad. I think the roster of characters is very impressive for the Shadow Dragon team, right? Especially because they had 2 of the top 5 best units in the game pretty much added to it very recently in LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. But the Shadow Dragon Saga had a lot of characters, man. Like, you know, all 7 Shadow Dragons really deserve TURs. And it's kind of unacceptable, I think, that at this point, like, Omega's aged a little bit, man. Like, he's still good. Like, I would not consider him, you know, one of the worst category leaders or anything like that. I do like him probably better than Future Gohan, you know, better than SCR Super Buu. But he doesn't have defense, but he is lowering enemy attack by 20%, so that will help him out a lot. He does hit pretty hard. He does have those additionals to come in clutch, right? But, like, Sin Shenron now is, like, completely fodder. Sin Shenron is not really a card I don't think you can run, right? So he's gone. Nova was pretty much fodder, but now he's very good, and I would say he's one of the first units you'd want to put on this team. But then after that, that's it. Of the 8 dragons, because you could say, you know, there's Sin Shenron, then after he gets all the Dragon Balls, he becomes Omega Shenron, right? So of the 8 dragons, okay, we got a counter, pretty good. Only 2 of the 8 are good right now. And, like, really, like, you know, Ice, Nova, Sin, and Omega have at least UR level characters, right? The rest, completely blank. So, when I'm talking to the homie Garesh, and he says, what if there's an LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and LR Omega Shenron as the 300 million download celebration? And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Sure, let's do it. Because, you know, number one, the Shadow Dragon team does need to be buffed. But I would totally be down with another GT-centric celebration to buff this team. You know, how about, you know, we all know the Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku event. There's those units that aren't released. The Super Saiyan Gohan from the Shadow Dragon Saga, and then the Super Saiyan Goten. There is not a GT Super Saiyan Goten card that we're even able to get. Those could be decent cards, like, you know, Goten could be like a hybrid Saiyan support unit, and then like a Shadow Dragon support unit, or like, you know, a tank or something. Like, there's a lot of different characters they could pull in. And then, like, don't get me started on Vegeta, who, you know, there's not like a base form Vegeta. Like, Vegeta was fighting Omega, like, in base form for a little bit at one point, was he not? Like, there's a lot of stuff that they still could do related to that saga, you know. Plus, you know, Goku, you know, it takes different forms, and we did finally get the Universal Spirit Bomb. But, you know, eventually even like a LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta card together, you know, that would maybe fuse into Gogeta or something like that. There is just a lot of possibilities and a lot of cards that, like, I don't understand why they haven't made it a bit of a priority to upgrade this category, man. At this point, like, new categories are fun, but I don't really care about new categories. I actually want to see the existing categories improved. The Buark team, I want to see be made relevant with a new leader. Hybrid Saiyans, I want to see be made relevant with a new leader. Shadow Dragon, I want their roster expanded. World Tournament, I would like them to get a proper leader. Low Class Warrior, I would like them to get a proper leader. How about LR Bardock and his whole crew? Low Class Warrior, you know, 170% across the board. Bam! Plus then also maybe like Pure Saiyan as a secondary lead or something like that. Like, why not do stuff like that? Like buff the old categories first. Because, like, you know, Rivals drop. Nova got up to 1.69 million, by the way. Remember, he does stack attack on super attack for 6 turns. So conceivably, we could go 1 extra turn, and Nova would be able to get up a little bit higher as well. So Nova's pretty good, man. I'm definitely A-okay with him. One of the next things I'm going to do is I'm going to be heading into the Shadow Dragon stage of Super Battle Road, and I'm going to try and no-item that. I've been having some, you know, pretty good runs lately. At this point, I've completed almost all of the stages. If I'm going to confess, I've been struggling pretty hard with the Extreme stage. I thought the Extreme stage was going to be not that bad. Like, I thought, you know, it's going to be tough, but I'll be able to handle it. But I'm struggling pretty badly in the Extreme stage. The Super stage, you know, the Super class units, you just have 500 different characters to choose from, right? 500 different characters that are, like, ridiculously cheap and perfect for the situation of Super Battle Road. Extreme class, you do have a lot of powerful cheat code units, but, you know, there's some holes there. Like, Extreme STR, you know, there's only, like, 1 or 2 choices, and same thing with Extreme Physical. Those two, like, I would love, like, a dominant Extreme STR and Extreme Physical unit to be released. That would make that a lot easier. Then, like, you know, comparing Tech Trunks to AGL Zamasu. AGL Zamasu cannot shine Trunks' shoes. AGL Zamasu, I will never have AGL Zamasu on the same level as Trunks ever again. Trunks is so damn impressive. You guys can go back and watch the run I did, the no-item superclass stage run. Trunks, so impressive. I try and do the same strategy with the Zamasu Extreme-led team. Zamasu takes 70k from normals. And he's on, you know, technically he's a Realm of God leader first, then he's Extreme. So he's under a real category leader, and he just gets obliterated. They're like, get Zamasu out of here, because he is not going to put up a fight. Trunks and Goten, that first stage, they see Zamasu and their eyes light up, my boy. They say, Zamasu? You bringing Zamasu in here? Sure. Let's see how that goes for you. So, lately, I've been trying different category builds. You know, I've tried Revived Warriors is how I think I'm going to be able to get it done. But I've tried Revived Warriors. I've tried Movie Bosses. I've tried Movie Boss / Full Power with Dragon Ball Super Broly. The best I've done on the stage, I want to say, is probably with Double Turles Movie Boss team. And then I've also done really good with the Revived Warrior team. So I think that's probably how I will beat it. And then having a lot of units that can lower attack. You know, maybe utilizing LR Tech Broly and how, like, OP he could be in Super Battle Road. A lot of different things. But, like, you know, it's funny. So many of these new EZA units came out. And the first thing I'm, like, sizing up for is, like, oh, yeah, you'll be good in that Super Battle Road. Ooh, look at you. You'll be good in that Super Battle Road. Like, that's kind of what I was doing there. And some of them, again, some of them are going to be really, really good. Like, SCR Evil Boo will, like, single-handedly dominate the Majin Buu arc stage of category Super Battle Road. He is, like, he is one of the best units you can bring into that stage. Like, up there with, like, LR Gohan and Goten. And, you know, like, LR Vegito and, like, you know, Super Vegito and all them. Like, he's actually, that SCR Boo, I like him. I like what they did. Then there's also, like, the Android 13 units. Maybe I will, well, the Android 13 units, they get stronger when there's more androids around, so I don't quite think they're the best fit for the Extreme class stage, so that's a bit unfortunate. Maybe Int Metal Cooler, though. Maybe he could be pretty good, like, for that Revived Warrior run. I think that is a definite possibility. But there we go. There's Nova Shenron's EZA. Again, he's only on one team. It's very restricted. You know, can't really go other places to show him off. But he is going to be a core unit now on this team, I think. You know, you get him on a rotation with the 2 LR Super Saiyan 4s, and he is going to really make them a lot stronger. Plus, he is going to be kind of self-sufficient, giving himself ki, so that's going to be solid as well. Alright guys, so here he is. This is Scorching Duel Nova Shenron. His leader skill is now Tech Type Ki 3 and HP attack and defense 100%. That is very decent. I actually like that a lot better than, you know, some of these other EZA units that are like, you know, 3 typings of like 70%. This 3 Ki 100% to all stats, that's going to be useful for certain free-to-play players out there in something like Dokkan Battlefield for sure. So Nova does have a good leader skill for Battlefield. I mean, that's the only place, but still good somewhere, right? His super attack is the Flame Shot, which does supreme damage and raises attack for 6 turns, which is good. You know, the other thing we need is a combo Nova and Ice Shenron card. There's just, it's stupid. There's just so much they could do with the Shadow Dragon Saga that they just have not done at all, right? Then his passive, True Form Revealed, is 3 Ki and 90% attack and defense at the start of turn. Quite honestly, already there, he is good. Like, he's a solid unit. You know, before, he had Ki 3 and 90% attack when facing only one enemy, so he wasn't even really a consideration for Super Battle Road. Now, they took away the restriction, he's got the Ki and attack and defense, so he's going to be just a solid overall unit. But then he also has Shadow Dragon Saga category allies, plus 30% attack and defense. So, they give us any good Shadow Dragons in the future, and this boy right here is going to be a huge part of the team, because I love units that are good themselves, you know, 90% attack and defense, but then he's also buffing the whole team. 30% attack and defense is a good number. So, Nova, you know, it is only restricted to one team, but on that one team, Nova he is going to dominate. Like, you know, you're not going to see him put up a 5 million attack stat, but when those LR Super Saiyan 4s, they start to get a little too ridiculous to handle, and Nova's sitting there floating like, that's me, that's why. His links are Shadow Dragons, Shocking Speed, Gentleman, Cold Judgment, GT, and Shattering Limit. The one weakness, unfortunately, is that, you know, it's not on him, but the Super Saiyan 4s. They lost Shocking Speed in lieu of Legendary Power, which is one thing that is unfortunate for, like, Nova Shenron, right? Because, like, you know, if the LR Super Saiyan 4s, if they lost Kamehameha and Saiyan Pride for Vegeta and instead put Shocking Speed in there, then, like, Nova would, you know, definitely function a lot better on that turn. I mean, I still don't think it's going to be too big of a deal, because Nova gives himself 3 Ki, so he'll only need 3 Ki to super attack, and then, you know, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, they get 24 Ki every turn, basically, so they're going to be fine. But, you know, that is one unfortunate thing. Them not having Shocking Speed could hurt them around some of the Shadow Dragons, you know, Omega. Like, pretty much all the Shadow Dragons, I think, are going to be Shocking Speed units eventually if they're, like, you know, TURs. You know, like if we got other Shadow Dragon TURs. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Nova's 12K multiplier is also 135%, which, you know, it's a bit lower than we like at this point, but, you know, he is, at this point, 2.5 years old, right? Like, he came out on JP on February 20th, 2017, so, you know, his 12K multiplier is not going to be as good as units usually have nowadays. And then, of course, you know, as mentioned before, he is on one category team right now, and that, of course, is the Shadow Dragon Saga team. I really wish, you know, I feel like Nova could be on the rival team, huh? The category, because he does completely turn around in the fight and end up, you know, fighting, like, against Omega. So, I feel like you probably could make the case that Nova could be on Rivals. Maybe there will be a Nova Shenron card that will be a super class card, and then he would be on Rivals. But I feel like you could kind of make the case that he would be on there. But this is one thing that is hurting the Shadow Dragons is, you know, we have 50 categories, and even, like, Omega is only really on full power in Shadow Dragon. Like, you know, these units the Shadow Dragons are not on a lot of teams. So, you know, hopefully another category can pop up where they can have some value, but, you know, we'll see what happens. So, there you go, guys. There is Nova Shenron's EZA. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.